I'd like to begin by telling a story about someone we know. He begins his day creeping out from the parts of town that everyone avoids. He has no home, recently evicted because his landlord could stand him no longer. Downtrodden, he heads to work, feeling his way through the streets. Blind as he may be, it won't stop him from being a productive member of society. It was easy making his way to work. People around avoided contact with him because they are afraid of his filthy appearance and how they may actually be infected with some terminal disease. Reaching his destination, he begins his work, dutifully gathering the trash and disposing them properly. Suddenly, the air becomes harder to breathe, almost as if the molecules became thicker, larger, eventually turning into a tangible white mist. With an artificial smell, it comes closing in on him, choking him. Each gasping breath he draws clouds his senses more and more. His strength fading, he attempts to flee, helplessly crawling towards the nearest ditch. But before he can make it, a shadow looms over him, and with the force of a giant, smashes into him and ends his life with a dull thud. My friends, that was the unfortunate life of a cockroach. It's safe to say that a lot of us will wish nothing for it to be gone, but are they really just pests in our society? I'm here to persuade you that at the very least, cockroaches are not pests because they want to be, and that they actually play an important role in our health and safety. So first up, let's start by dispelling some myths about cockroaches. You'll be pleased to know that reputable sources like BBC Earth states there are 4,800 different species of cockroaches. But only 30 of them are actually considered pests in our society. The rest don't even bother us at all. And I know, so what? Those 30 species are still capable of causing mass hysteria the moment they spread their wings and start flying around. Well, let's calm ourselves down for a moment and ask, why do we really hate these insects? Well, aside from the irrational fears of the highly mobile, near unkillable insect creeping onto us like a Hollywood horror movie, Rachel Newer, a BBC journalist who did intensive research on fear of cockroaches, states the reason why we hate them so much is because we associate them with illnesses and disease, carrying contaminants like salmonella and gastroenteritis, infecting our foods and our stomachs. Well, that's kind of true. The cockroaches live in dark and warm places like the sewers that we built, carrying the germs that came from our waste, as well as picking it up from the streets that we are supposed to maintain. Well, guys, the point I'm trying to make really is that cockroaches aren't these viral-ridden, disease-infecting insects by choice. Given the circumstances, I'm sure in a bacteria-free environment, the cockroaches would be no different from an ant. Now, with that out of the way, let me tell you about how cockroaches play a very important role in our ecology and how they can one day save our lives. Dubbed as nature's trash collectors by websites like NatureWorks, who study ecology and wildlife, the various kinds of cockroaches have chemicals inside their body to completely decompose a good majority of the waste that we fail to dispose properly, from the crumbs in our homes to the fallen logs in the rainforest. These wastes release nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and other kinds of nourishments that help to thrive the ecosystem. And speaking of the ecosystem, I understand that a lot of you feel without cockroaches, the world would be a better place, right? Well, a study done by William J. Bells on the ecology of cockroaches states that the cockroach is actually a primary food source to animals like birds, rats, and even frogs, which in turn are important prey for a wide range of household pets, from the common cat to the exotic snake. With the cockroaches gone, the rainforests are smaller, the food chain becomes tighter, and your household pets become fewer. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that the adorable kittens and corgis that we love so much will be in danger of becoming extinct simply because we wish the cockroaches away. Which brings me to my next point. Would you believe me if I told you one day cockroaches would be at the forefront of every rescue operation? Well, to state a fact, cockroaches have 6 legs. But each legs have 3 sets of knees which they can use to maneuver any kind of complex terrain. Now, What if we could control this amazing ability? Li Guanye from the Shanghai Jiao Tong University has managed to pair an EEG headset, or a headset that reads brainwaves, with a miniaturized camera and a backpack that's latched onto a cockroach, allowing us to transmit our brain signals to theirs. This gives us the ability to see what they see and control how we would want them to move. The point of this research being to one day utilize cockroaches to slip into tight cracks in debris and maneuver complex terrains to perform reconnaissance, risk and victim assessments of disaster areas that no animal nor humans can safely traverse. But those are special cases, crises. It doesn't stop them from being tests in our everyday lives. I can almost hear the argument coming from some of you guys. Well, to disprove that statement and hopefully to drive the point home, next I'll be taking you through on how cockroaches have been helping us through the past, present, and how they're going to help us revolutionize the future of our health. Long before your time, in the southern province of China, is what I like to say, but most of us in this generation don't really fare very well with these kind of anecdotal medicine. So instead, I'd like to introduce you to this elderly gentleman from the 1900s, a 20-year sufferer of asthma. After having exhausted all kinds of scientific medication of his time, finally managed to find relief after drinking a cup of tea. The catch? There was dead cockroach simmering in his teapot. Intrigued by this discovery, Dr. D.N. Ray of Calcutta, India, experimented with different infusions of tea and cockroach, now known as the Blatta orientalis, or the common Indian roach. He went on to solve many different similar cases, from daily coughs to coughing fits that brought a single man to death's door, all because of this simple roach. Even now, cockroaches are being used as ingredients for medication and supplements all over the world. Medical professor Li Shunan was fascinated by the healing power of the cockroach used in ancient medication, done research and found that cockroaches actually contain antibodies to bacteria known as E. coli and MRSA, which is actually a very common germ found in, well, almost all health problems. What this means is this translates into development to medication to health problems like heart disease, blood stasis, even AIDS. All of this are produced in organizations like the South Korean Agricultural Research Facility or the China Stali University of Pharmacy. And it's not just in medication that cockroaches are helping us in. For one, right? All around Asia, people are cooking up delicacies using cockroaches. And why not? They're cheap to procure, they're easy to raise, and their health benefits are off the charts. Food sources like Eat This Not That, and even Jack Norris, a director of Vegan Outreach, vouched that a 100-gram serving of cockroaches equates to 24 micrograms of protein. That is 10 times more than a plate of beefsteak. It even bolsters your immune system and energy production. Even websites like Forbes and Science Alert are advocating cockroach milk produced from the Diplothera punctata, or the Pacific beetle cockroach, as a kind of superfood containing 5 times more nutrients than your average cow's milk. Although there are still some issues in trying to milk the cockroach without killing it, it only goes to show the kind of benefits that we can reap by learning more about cockroaches. My friends, I know it's not easy to get rid of your fear and hatred of cockroaches, but at least know that cockroaches are not pests because they want to be. Even those that invade your homes only want to try and help clean it up. Know that every cockroach that you kill could have saved someone's lives in the near future using augmented technology. Know that every cockroach eliminated means ending the potential of curing a once thought uncurable disease, or feeding thousands of starving people, or maybe building a better body for your child and their children to come. Thank you very much.